a leg in the way.
Yes.
That's no leg.
I don't even know what to do with that.
Welcome to GenerationD20.com review video. I'm John.
I'm George.
Nick?
Are we doing that now?
Have we ever done
I
that
know,
before?
that's
Maybe the first time?
Yeah.
Why
We're
don't we
supposed
do
to
that?
do that every single time.
Yeah. That's like,
Wow.
We should wear a
It's
helmet.
like 101.
yeah, web content 101. Introduce yourself.
Name tags, plates, whatever.
Yeah.
I was thinking more like a...
Or a graphic. There's not a graphic here, is there?
Just keep
Then-
Put it in there, John. Come on.
There is, but it doesn't say Nick.
No.
going.
Oh.
It'll say
It's a
member of
meme
the-
now. Yeah. You son of a bitch.
So today we played a couple games, but the first game we played today was Imperial Settlers, and it was the first time playing for George and I. Nick's game, and I don't know how many times he's played it, but
Yeah, I played it a few times.
okay. So you'll get first time experience. You'll get a little bit more of a veteran. But what you ultimately want to know is, Nick, was it good for you?
I had a great time playing with you guys.
First time he's ever had fun playing this game.
Yes.
Usually people are dry clicking their revolvers at him.
It's all true.
And usually he doesn't have a fun time playing with us because someone else is here.
Yeah, so it's first time for two things. Huzzah. No, it was great getting to play a 3-player game. It was a lot more fun interactions with raising people's locations.
You'd only ever played it with 2, right?
Yeah. Lots of times, but with just 2 players. So it was a much more fun dynamic having a third person in. Can't wait for 4. Yeah, I mean, it kind of mixes in a lot of the mechanics that we like. This time that we played it, we didn't do kind of the drafting with drawing cards every round.
Just for sake of time.
For sake of time, yeah.
And we determined after having done that it was a huge mistake
Huge
and we
mistake.
should have taken the time.
That drafting is the key component to strategy.
Yeah, and I hadn't thought of it. I'd kind of taken it for granted for the other times playing it, but the drafting is a huge thing.
Because, Nick...
You can
Actually, as I think about it, Nick
things.
kind of got host twice tonight.
Yeah, but this was much more fun being host.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
I felt...
No, I can totally see that.
invested.
Yeah, but you just couldn't get any stone.
Yes.
Yeah. So, thinking about the game, and in any review, I always like to think what I liked and what I would maybe change. My biggest complaint with the game, which isn't really a big complaint, but my biggest complaint is that when you have to take just a single action, and sometimes it felt like the action wasn't really an action.
Like changing things in for something else.
Right.
Yeah.
It seems like, I should be able, if all I'm doing is taking 2 meeples and getting a wood because I want to do something with that wood, and there's no way in the game for, on someone else's turn, them to steal that wood from me, then why can't I just spend it then?
Yes. Well, ultimately what it is why isn't it just that when you're doing the trade that it's 2 meeples are equal to anything of this 4? It's like it's not I'm exchanging this out.
Yeah.
I'm not sending 2 dudes to get wood. I'm just using their bones.
Yes.
So grim.
I will say it still goes at a clip, though. Even
Yeah.
with, just, like, okay, that's my whole... It went.
The nice thing is that by having it be, you take one action and it passes. As long as people are paying attention,
Yeah.
and without Bob here, for the most part,
Yeah.
people are paying attention.
Yeah.
then...
I mean, 45 to 90 minutes.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably fair.
Yeah.
Yep, it was
A
probably
first playthrough even.
closer to 90.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it was really close
for
to
the
90.
one that we did, but I would agree. It was a small gripe, only that, but you always knew what you were going to do your next turn.
Right,
Like,
right.
I take this action, and then I'm just waiting, because I know immediately what I
Yeah.
want to do again, and then
A couple times, though, I was like, I wanted to, like, downplay it because I didn't want somebody to know something cool is coming and then destroy, my plan. So I'm just turning this in for a wood.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no.
So-
Yeah.
And there was a point where we were playing, and I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to do next turn, and then John raised it instead of letting me do it. Now it was determined I couldn't have done that,
Yeah.
Right.
but I totally wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wreck my own shit.
And that's where I guess it would make a difference how many actions you can take in a turn
Yep.
if someone raises. I was thinking of building, and with building, no one can stop you from
Mhm.
building,
Sure.
so it just felt like
It
okay,
feels
well,
tedious.
Yeah,
You just wanted that instant gratification.
I did because I had to trade in
Tons of... He was
a
playing
person to get 2 stone.
Yeah, he
then
was
I had
playing. He was playing the barbarians.
Some
the
of us
barbarians,
didn't have much
more people.
choice, okay?
Yeah, the barbarians get a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so he was doing a lot of people trading,
Yep.
including slave pits.
Yes.
So
Actually, when I got the slave pits, it started going a lot quicker for me.
well, that makes sense actually.
Yes.
Slaves make the world go round.
And speaking of theme, the game had solid theme.
Yeah.
It felt like
Playing the Romans
we had a
had a
conversation,
distinctly Roman feel. Playing the Egyptians feels apparently like playing the Egyptians now rather than the ancient Egyptians. Oh, but that's not fair. They can get all the stone they want. They just go and take it from the pyramids.
Yeah.
it was just the starving piece.
It was-
and
It was probably more difficult to get stone where in the era I was.
right.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
There are far fewer Chinooks.
And the barbarians, I just had a horde of people,
And blew all sorts of stuff up.
yeah.
No, it was...
And at first I was
vandalized
going to be
things.
kind of turned off by it kind of looks like Farmville. The art is very...
It does have a very Farmville feel to
But it didn't really... I kind of glazed over that because, you're thinking more of
Oh yeah.
the, production value or the actual text on the card.
Mm-hmm.
I liked multi-card functionality. On the top of where you can put the deals, I like that you can kind of build resources early,
Yeah.
and then later can use those resources to expand your village or whatever.
We'd
you
been
call it.
trying to kind of work this game in to play it for a while just because it kind of matches a lot of the things we like, worker placement stuff, and...
But it required having only 3 of us here and Nick. So...
And it gives you asymmetrical...
Yeah.
Well, because otherwise we'd have to include the Japanese, which adds a layer of complexity to the game that we were not interested in for our first playthrough.
First play, yeah.
Right.
And the book
This was
mentions-
specifically stated
yeah.
at the beginning when we were...
Yeah. The book mentions several times to hold off on the Japanese because they add extra layers, they're a little bit more difficult, so...
But Imperial Settlers is huge in Japan.
Really? Just like Godzilla, huh?
Well, yeah, how many years behind are we on doing this one, too?
What, 2012?
Yeah,
13?
That's only 5. That's
yeah.
not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, for
So-
us.
We did play.
We
with,
should-
we did play with the "Why Can't We Be Friends" expansion.
Yeah.
Too. We should mention that.
And there were a couple
Yeah,
cards that
a
came
couple.
out
Yeah,
where-
yeah.
We should totally do Arkham Horror. Because that's got to be, what, like 2000, 2001?
We'll fire it up next time.
Just a giant... Like, all
And I've got
these...
the old one too, not like the revised thing. So
Oh,
it's
no,
just going to be
Yeah, we need
massive.
We need all the expansions. We need like Kingsport and Dunwich, and just make it so it is basically an unplayable mess.
Boy, or we could play Imperial Settlers again.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Play Imperial Settlers like 2 or 3 times.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be like a multiple week thing.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Or the first layer of Talisman.
No.
We should play that. We should play it next time.
I have Talisman sitting up on my shelf, but
So do I.
it's may not all be there because it was at the library for a while.
Yeah.
So who knows what's missing?
You could even probably play it several times and not know what's missing.
But would you want to?
No,
I love Talisman.
I can rate Talisman right now. Hold on, let me see. I will give it
No 0.
no 0. No, it's not a 0 game.
No.
I will give it a 5. It's a 5 from me.
That's cold.
It is. But the thing is, any game that you never finish is a bad game.
It'd be an afternoon of slow drinking game. Sipping.
Just dying ever so slowly in your chair game.
Well, what about Imperial Settlers?
Imperial Settlers. I will give Imperial Settlers a 16. After the first playthrough, I definitely want to play it again.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see playing different. I'd like to not be the barbarians next time and
see how it's
experience something else.
That's kind of how I felt after we played Seven Wonders. I was like, oh, cool, I want to play again.
Yep.
And of course, I was the same faction each time.
You should
So
have just said something, Nick.
The other
I
piece,
flipped the B side, so it was a little different. But
the other piece to my 16 is I love drafting, and we didn't draft, so I think it could bump it up just by adding that component back in.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd give it a 15. I won based more or less on a single card.
But it was well timed.
Yeah,
and thought out.
I mean,
that should be rewarded.
It was. The game has strategy. The strategy is not super complicated. I appreciate that because this was not supposed to be chess. But yeah, no, it's fun.
Yeah. And that's 15 probably for me too.
Okay.
And I can't wait to play 4 players. I can't wait to play another 3-player game. So
Yeah.
What do the Atlanteans do?
I don't know.
They can store magic, which is also something that's added into the game.
Yes.
Or
And the
fish.
Aztecs.
The Aztecs add in blood. They can store blood. So much blood.
Why do we have to add resources? Why can't they just do something?
Because the
different with the
Aztecs
resources?
used blood for everything. They wouldn't know what to do.
So
It's just,
Aztecs.
they just build everything out of human hearts.
Well, no, the people are like coins. The people
Yeah.
are wild.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But they also
Done.
have gold. Because they had lots of gold.
Right.
So, like, maybe they don't have stone? Even though they had... because that's made out of bones from all the people that they're sacrificing.
We solved it.
Yep.
Done.
No need to buy that expansion.
Yeah. Actually, it sounds good. I'm putting it on the list.
Yeah.
We're getting that next. I guess if anyone has
Illuma
a suggestion
Aztecs confirmed.
of what the must-have expansions are for this, I'd like to know, because having played it again, I'm like, you know what? This was really fun. I think the highest game I've ever rated is a 17, so 15.
Yeah.
It's up there, and so I want to play it
No,
again.
it was fun.
And whatever expansions I should get. Yeah.
The only complaint I guess I have is I wish that they had, in some fashion, in the cards, marked where they're supposed to go. I mean, I know that this one will have things that go on top and bottom. This one only goes in the bottom. This one goes in the top. But a little bug that just says, this is a this is a this, or this is a this. It wouldn't take up much space, guys. You could just have a corner that's a different color. Something, just so that I don't have to stare at it going, oh right, it goes here, which is really minor because it doesn't really matter except for checking things.
Right. I didn't realize until much later in the game that the color of the building factored into things because the cards I had for probably the first 2 or 3 rounds didn't tell me anything about that. And then suddenly it was produce 1 per brown.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
it's similar to Bruges that way.
Yeah.
There's
whereas I thought it was the back of the card.
Right.
Because it was like, for the foundation. Oh no, it's the building. That's when we misread a couple things in terms of what they meant. But it's cool. That
would only been 2 points or something, we figured, so.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah, you still won, yeah.
Enough ahead that those 2 points wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
But not if I hadn't had the statue, because that would have been all for Charlie.
All right. So
Julius, Caesar, all for Caesar. There we go.
Go out and buy Imperial Settlers. I probably will be doing that.
Yeah, it was a good game.